welcome back to another Thunderous Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And welcome back, guys, to part 2 of my USS Ohio boy up. So we're just gonna jump right into it, and this is where you should have left off with the tutorial. So you should have an empty sub. There's some few markings up here in the front, and I'll go over what those are here in just a minute. And we'll go inside and we'll take a look at what you should have and what you can have. Alright, so once you get inside the sub, obviously in the second version, this is where I got about 20% into actually building this thing out. So I'm going to show you where the floor layouts are. So coming off dark gray, damn it, Jay, where's that button at? Hit it. There we go. Oh, yeah, I'm using dark gray wool for the floor and then light gray wool for the walls. And then I came back of the missile silos, and as you can see, I took red wool and I placed it right underneath the stairwell. And I'll try to go slow, that way people can count blocks and get it to look just like this. So you can stop it there, and that's how far it is from the main entryway. And then down the middle, I put obviously glowstone for lighting because you got plenty of room. And then in between, I used dark gray wool and ran it all the way down. We should have 24 silos. And let's see, the original design, I used several pictures that showed me where the layout was on the Ohio submarine. There was a section on the back here. This is where I gave them a lounge of sorts. And again, the layout is very tight. You'll just have to either try to count the blocks or maybe try to come up with something creative on your own. That's the idea behind these tutorials, guys, is I try to give you the shells and then give you a walkthrough of your own so you can get your own ideas and add your own characteristics and personalities to the build. So anyways, back here was the Special Forces Ready Room. And here there was like a conference type room where with a TV they can go over their final missions. And then through this door over here was basically the aquatic room. I was going to put some cabinets in here for some swimming gear and shit like that. And they pressurized the room and go through this door and then exit the sub. So that was the original design, and I think I changed that, and I can't remember because I've got my Typhoon class that's got a lot of shit in it. I spent a lot of time just on these two subs getting the interiors ready, and 100%. I've never actually done a build quite this in depth. So anyways, on the second deck going down the stairs, and it would probably be best if we go back to the beginning and work our way down. Alright, so starting back here, we were on the 5th deck, or the 5th block from the top, from this part right here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 for a wall, and then a deck. And I don't have a ladder here. And then the next ones, I try to stay 3 high, and then another deck. And then the same thing down below that. I should have 3 high, 1, 2, 3, and then a deck. And then that should leave you a voided space underneath, so that your final deck will be right here, and everything will rest upon that. And that's how far your missile silos will go down. Now on the second deck, again, here's the main wall that was upstairs. I took that all the way down to the bottom deck. So, and then I put a middle access door here to go through the silos just like I did upstairs. And then on the sub, the berthings are on both sides of the missile silo, so they're exactly the same. So starting on the back side of this wall, we did something like this. And to stack them beds like that, let me see if I can pick one of those up, because I get a lot of people ask me how to do that. Basically all you got to do is throw down 4 blocks, and then you want to put down your bed, and then bust out a block, put down a bed, and then bust out your bottom blocks, and then put your bottom bed like that. So you'll have your bunk system just like that. So you can do 2 high or you can do 3 high. I needed a lot of bunks, so I did 3 high, obviously. And then I used glowstone again for lighting, and I just ran this all the way down. And I think there is, we can count and see how many sets I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I've got 12 sets of 3 on each side. And what's that, 36? I don't fucking remember. I just got up, so I'm a little sleepy. All right, and then so coming through here, they've got to have a place to shit and shower. And this wall kicks out just a little bit because right behind here is the black outside of the ship. And I think this is right where it goes out. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I needed room for a shitter and enough room to sit down. So what I did is I put a kick wall coming out right here, and then put a door on with a seat and a light, and that should be the top of the ship, the top of the next floor right up here. So that's how that goes together, and then you can just cover this back up and put some doors on it. I put in 5 shit houses, and then I put in some showers, and they're really easy. Just put another 2-wall kick wall out, 2x3, and then put a lever and a button. And of course this was early design, so it didn't have everything quite here yet. And then on this side we put the sinks and a place for them to wash their faces. I think in the final design I got iron blocks here instead for like stainless steel counters, because pretty much everything on the ship that has to do with that is stainless steel. And then the and then the main access door comes right down between both sides. They're both sides are exactly identical, and this door just comes straight down through. And this was the door that goes up to the Special Forces room. And let's see, let's go back to the front one more time. All right, back to the front. And on the bottom deck, all this is the torpedo room area, and we'll go over that in the next design. And I've got some really nice cutaway views, so you can really see some good shit. But anyways, this is how the missile silos end up in this one here, just solid on the bottom, and then some windows. On the Typhoon class, I had a lot more room. I could actually put a little bit of an access door going into these main towers, but on this one here I just didn't quite have the room for that. So anyways, right here at the end, again, 2 blocks and then another wall, and then we have another open area here, and this all got redesigned. So this is just one way that you can do it. These are the stairs coming down out of the shitters, and then the reactor room going through here. And like I said, I didn't get a lot done on this particular version. I had a couple different ideas, and it was really fucking tight. And I know it's hard to see, but again, like I said, I'm gonna rip all this apart here in just a minute, and you'll see how I put the reactors and the main engines and the drive shaft and all that together. So let's go ahead and go to the finished version, and then we'll look at the cutouts, guys. Alright, again on the final version, I put a elevator system here on the very front. I took away the gray blocks that you saw in the beginning, and just off of this emergency escape hatch, I put an elevator system. I imagine there had been some way to get torpedoes in on the submarine. Pretty sure they didn't carry them down the damn stairs, so I put an access door here in the front. It made the most sense to me. When I was in the Navy, I was only on one submarine, and I wasn't on it very long to figure out where all the shit was. So again, I had to use a lot of pictures and a little bit of creativity and imagination to finish this build up. But anyways, I put an elevator access door here in the front, and I'll let you count my blocks. Sick fuckers. All right, let's go down inside this one here, and we'll take a look at the finished version of where everything was. And I'll show you how I finished off each deck to make it easy to get to each level. Alright, so on the first deck, there was the main wall that goes to the missile silos, like we saw just a few minutes ago. This is how I trimmed out each floor. It's pretty simple. There's 3 blocks on each side with a half slab on the top and bottom. Yes, I know Xbox users, you still don't have this fucking update. You should have it by now, but you don't. But when you get it, you'll be able to do this. For now, you can just leave it open. This empties out into the main galley, or the main eating area. Mine's just a little bit different. I think some of the pictures that I looked at, this actually should come down into the navigation center. But again, because of Minecraft, we lose a lot of space with the 3-foot block, and you got to do what you got to do. And I left there are a lot of different compartments that didn't make it into the final design. And again, because I sacrificed a 2-block floor for a 3-block floor, just so I could actually build some shit. So if I actually went a 2-block floor, I wouldn't be able to build nothing, but I would have all the right decks and probably all the right compartments. But anyways, enough babbling about that bullshit. There's the missile maintenance area. I went ahead and trimmed it off and put some glowstone lighting in the corner with some trap doors and some furnaces and some shelving, some sinks and some stainless steel countertops, and then the seating area, which is all pretty self-explanatory. There's some space in here and some little tables up on that side, one big long table where everybody can get together and eat, and then some smaller tables here. Now the nav center and the main bridge is all up through here, so just behind where you come down on the main corridor here, the main steps, just behind that I made this thing, and the bridge in the communication room is all through here. Now on the left hand side is a little bit different than the right hand side, so this is the only area that everything is not split right down the middle and looks exactly the same. So this is the nav center here. Imagine some computer screens and some controls, just basically for navigation and shit like that. And there was an emergency escape hatch somewhere in the nav center, so this is where I put mine. I just put a door and the escape hatch. So that's where that goes. Again, the official Ohio version, I'm not really sure where the fuck that's at, but I know it's up here in the front, somewhere in the nav control center. And of course it would have to be pressurized or everything would fucking flood. Alright, so there's the main wall going in. And again, slowing down a little bit so you can count blocks and do it just like I've got it if you want to. And then we have the bridge. And then up here is the main bridge area, and I built a black solid wall with a seat and some control levers, and again some screens for driving the submarine. Again, never saw the front of it, have no idea what the fuck it looks like. It might be completely fucking wrong. I've watched a lot of movies though, so maybe this might be close. And then I've got some glowstone with obviously some trapdoor lighting and some nice wood finish, just to give it a little bit of class. This here is just a small table with a laptop, just for some backup, whatever the hell. I just filled that space up nicely. Alright, so on the other side, over the seat and through the woods, on this side, there's a bunch of computer systems with some storage in the middle. I think, no, that's on the Typhoon, my bad. This is just like a big storage center, keep files and whatnot, and some drawers. I needed something to put on this side, and I really didn't want two nav centers, so I think that's why I did the compartments and stuff over here. Just some just something to put there, guys. All right, and then back to the bridge. A couple seats over here, co-pilot seats, I guess, and then some more storage, so with some buttons and some stone wall. And then some more knee knockers here. That's what we called them when we was in the Navy. And then a 2x3 area in here. And now into the sonar room. Now in the front of the submarine, there's actually on the real one a big dome which is the sonar. And there was actually no room to put that. So I had to put a small sonar room because we are right at the front of the submarine right now, right behind these blocks. I think I just started doubling it up from the front and pushing my way back in. I thought this was a pretty neat design, and I put, of course, several different computer screens and buttons and gadgets and things like that so they can track other submarines. And I would imagine they would need at least 2 or 3 people to run this area. So that's what this looks like, and hopefully I'm giving you guys a really nice shot of it so that you can recreate it if you want to. Alright, now let's fly back past the berthing area and through the missile silo, and I've got my Zums mod fly pack on, so that, whoops, wrong button. Oh, that's how it used to be. And then right back here, I put some access stairs going down to the lower decks on each side, right here and here. And then again, like we saw above, or in the first version, or second version, whatever the hell it was, we put trim on the outside of these. And this all remained the same, nothing changed from the original design. And then the Special Forces room, still the same, a little different design on their entertainment system. And then I put a gear locker over here so that, I guess I can stop flying because it's a little jittery. Yeah, I put a gear stowage area over here, plenty of compartments for them to stow all their Navy SEAL cool shit. So that's where that's at, and some lounge chairs. And again, we got a pretty good look at it in the second version a few minutes ago, and I gave them their own private shit house. and it's just like all the other ones. And then this, instead of being the Special Forces room, I made it into a medical department. I figured I probably better put one on the ship in case somebody gets fucked up. So I just put a bench, a little waiting area, and I filled it in with some nice wood trim, and a door and a bed so they can lay down and they can get molested or whatever. Some stainless steel countertops, a laptop center, and then your main sign-in area. Now this here ended up being again an emergency escape hatch. I just had no better way to kind of tie this together, but I still wanted another emergency escape hatch back here, so that's where that one went. And then on the bottom deck, we're gonna go back, we're gonna go down this way. This was the heads. Yep, this is the heads and the shitters. That all remain the same. I trimmed it out with some pictures, and this back wall is the final wall before the reactor area and the engine room. So let's work our way to the front, and we'll look at the torpedo room and how I've got that set up and all that, the elevators and stuff. Alright, so right here, coming down on each side of the forward missile silos, I've got a ladder. One right here, and I thought I had two. Where's the other one at? There's the berthing there. And okay, here we go. Duh, we're in the middle of the ship. Because there's the door that goes down the middle. So on the second, third deck down, we built this doorway that goes between the missile silos, and again, we had stairs or ladders going on each side down to the bottom deck, and just like that. And then off to this side, it goes to your berthing area, and originally I had this going off to the berthing area, but I wanted to cut it up and give it a little bit of design, so I made a little P-way right in here, and then another one here, and then off over here to the berthing area. And I just cut that out so you could read the sign. That's the only reason that's cut out. And then on this side, this never got filled up with nothing. Probably maybe an officer's mess or something could go right here, because the officer lounge is right down here, and that's what they got. So hopefully you get a nice look at that. So I think I was going to put the officer's mess right here. I just didn't get time to go back and actually finish. So this, I lied, it's not 100% complete. Fuck off. It's 98% complete. Alright, this is the main stairway coming down right here from the very top. So this comes out, and I just surrounded it again like I did on the floor above, and I put some stairs going down here on this side, and around the back side you can walk through. And I think there's another set of stairs right there going down. Yep. And this here is the elevator, a secondary elevator going down to the main torpedo storage area, because again, the location of everything, the main elevator, oops, and it is fucking raining out. Yes, it is. I couldn't take this all the way straight down into the torpedo room, or there would just be no room for anything to work, because it was too small. So I had to bring this off on this third deck, and imagine that they would roll the torpedoes down the hallway and then put them on a secondary elevator and all the supplies for the ship. So this is that's my elevator, and god damn it, I didn't finish those. What the fuck, Jag? Not fucking cool. So if you guys download the schematic, you're gonna be like, Jag, you did not finish it. Oh my god, I didn't do this side either. What in the fucking hell? So anyways, this is how I do my elevators. This is how I've done them ever since the Enterprise build. I just think it's a really nice, clean look, and that's why I do it this way. So it's just half slabs and some spaces in between, and then a solid wall. And we come out this side, and oh no, here's the officer's mess. Duh, dumbass. That's why I didn't build another one, because I already built one up forward. All right, so in the front of the ship, just underneath the bridge area, again, this is the forward officer's mess, and it's a little fancier. And now that we have carpet pieces, I may probably carpet this area. So this may not 100% done. I still got a few ideas left, but it's pretty much 100% complete. Everything is in all the areas that I want it to be in, so fuck yeah. Just kidding, guys. Don't get all fucking testicle on, Jag. Alright, this was the officer's lounge. And let's see, we'll go down these stairs. That stairs on the other side comes down to the same thing right here on each side. And then we've got a passageway that goes back into here. so that you can bring stuff out this way and take it down through the missile silos to the back part of the ship. And then the forward part of the ship, again, you can take this to the torpedo storage area. So I've got a place for 4 torpedoes on each side, and 2 are missing because they are in the tubes. One is being loaded and one is already in. And I'll show you the layout for where the tubes actually are, but I put a piston with a lever, kind of blocks it off once the torpedo is inside, obviously, so water don't come through. And then this here kind of is to simulate pushing it into the tube, and it's just all it is a lever on a block with a piston. Really simple. And then a crane system that runs from the storage area, because they're not loading these by hand, I don't think. So I put in a crane system that loads it and puts it on each side, and places it into the torpedo load area. And in front of that is the firing control room. And again, you've got windows here. You can see the torpedo inside the tube, and it's trimmed out with some pretty heavy blocking, just because when it fires, they're going to be sitting here and they're going to see it. I don't know, best I could come up with. Some more computers and some navigation or firing control screens, and plenty of buttons and knobs to do all that shit. And there is the firing tube with a block of glass on the end to keep all the water from coming back in. And I think the other tube has one too. Alright, so that is pretty much it, except for the reactor room and the machine room. And I'm going to show you that in the cutaway views because you can see it a lot better than what I have here. So let's go ahead and jump on over to that world and we'll look at those. Alright guys, the final area, this is my cross-sectional view, and this schematic right here will actually be in the download, so you guys can have this. And yes, this is my Yamato flat world. This is where I'll be doing my tutorial at. I had no other place to put this for right now, so this is where this ended up. No, you will not get this this particular download right now. That's my fucking tutorial. Alright, so I cut everything in half, and as you can see, there's the main walkway coming all the way down, the main ladder. And this was the very first one that we went in that was just about finished, and that's what it looks like with all the lighting and the firing tubes, and the main P-ways going between them, just like that. And again, like I said, you'll have the schematic of this. So if you got MC Edit, for some reason MC Edit, if you start spinning shit, especially the very first or the completed design, if you flip that bad boy, if you spin it any other way than what it is, for some reason it does not like the new what the fuck are they, the picture frames or the item frames. It does not like those. It does not like trapdoors and pictures. Some of them it'll flip to the outside, and you'll have them on the outside of the submarine or the opposite wall of where it was placed. So be careful spinning this around. You'll have to go back and fix a few things. Again, MC Edit is not supported quite as well as it used to be, so things are just still a little funky. But anyways, this is the reactor room here behind that last wall, and this is what I come up with my design. Was 2 big reactor cells. One is the main reactor, one is for the steam, and then it gets pushed into an engine. And again, because of lack of room, this is severely lacking all the necessary equipment to make the reactor work the way it's supposed to. The Typhoon is a little more closer to an actual reactor system, but to bite up the rest of the space, I just put in 2 reactors and a main engine with a transmission and a drive shaft. Really simple design. There's nothing really complicated about that, and then some piping leading into the steam engine. So that's how that works, and that's that one split apart. And then the final design right here, we'll go ahead and look at that. With all the decks and the floors, so they could walk around. There's an emergency escape hatch here in the back. If something happens in the reactor room, they've got a way to get fucking out. So there's a ladder there, and you could probably run that all the way down if you wanted to. It just kind of fucked with my stairwell here, so I didn't do that. And here on the bottom, the main hallway coming through. Let's see, this was where the fuck was this? Okay, we come around this way. On the bottom floor, I changed it just a little bit from the final design, where that you come out of the heads and you came down the stairs. And the first one we looked at, we went right around this corner, and it was a long wall. This got shortened a little bit because what I did is I put in some officers berthing, and that's where this ended up. And I guess I probably should have showed that. I forgot I had that in there. But it's pretty simple. Just give them a nice little berthing area. I put 4 or 5 to 1 room in the missile area, and then on the other side over there is another set of beds right here, and that connects obviously to this room here. So there was 2 rooms, one that had 3 beds in it, and one that had 4 and 5 beds in it, and then one more back here in the corner. So that's how that got broke up underneath the main head area. So you've got that space. That's what it was. The space that I showed you in the first one that was empty, I turned that into the officers' berthing, and then gave them their own shitter. And then when we turn through the wall and go through the reactor room, there is a authorized personnel. There'll be a guy here that checks your ID and make sure you're allowed back into this area. And then you'll walk down this main P-way here, and then just some main controls through another opening. And then just to the left of that is where I put the stairs going up. The other half has a solid engine, so I went just underneath, fuck off, down, some stairs going up, and then to each side so that you could walk around the main engine, and then also the main reactors. And there's the emergency escape hatch. So that's what that looks like. And another cutout view of where everything was. Here's your medical department right here with the other emergency escape hatch, and then your missile silos, obviously, your main passageways on the second deck that bring you back to here, which was the shit houses. And there again, there's the officers' berthing, and up front of the ship there's the little passageway thing that I put in. There's the elevator going down. I think this is a really cool when you split these apart like this and they're actually fucking done. It's just kind of cool looking. So there's the elevator that comes out. There's the torpedo room, and there's the torpedo firing room. So you can see we're right at the very front of the ship, or I keep calling it a ship. It's a ship. It's a submarine. And then the navigation room, and then the sonar room. See, like I said, there was no room to actually put a sonar in the front. So that's how that all played out. And then this is the other side of it with the officer's mess, and it's the more firing controls, and the other side of the torpedo room. And I'm going to show you where those torpedoes tubes are located, so that you can kind of do yours like mine. Right here on the bottom on 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th layer up, or 3 layers down on the red, and then back 1. Let's see, we got a block here, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then I cut out, I believe there was 3 blocks here. There might have been 2 blocks here, but I put in 3 black blocks, 4 black blocks, a glass block, and then lined the inside of the tube with cobblestone, and there's your 3 windows from the inside, and then a lighting that kind of gives lighting on the outside of the ship. And see, that's what happens right there when you fuck around with MC Edit. It puts stuff on the out goddamn side. Alright, the very final part of this, guys, and then we are done with this walkthrough. I stripped all of the black meat off the submarine, so you get a really nice look of how everything's kind of laid out on each deck. And I'll just kind of fly over these kind of slow. There's the forward officer mess. There's the elevator, and then the ceilings are trimmed out with the dark gray wool. There's the main mess area, and the passageway coming down. There's your missile silos, floating stairs. Let's get some daylight. And there's your rack systems, your berthing area, and let's see, this is what we want to look at right here. So there's the main reactors, and then the steam pipes going into the top of the engine. Again, I'm not a fucking mechanic. This is just how I imagine it works. And then the main wall that separates the 2 areas, and then the drive shaft that comes out to the propeller. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And here is the bottom half just underneath that. As you can see, we walked down into the officer's berthing right here, and the door goes along the wall into this right here. And I'll give you guys an aerial view, that way you can lay it out just like mine if you want to and count blocks. And then there in the middle of the screen, that's where you go through to the reactor room. This is the shit house back here, and this is the kind of like the pre-room before going into the reactor room, so that, you know, they could sit there and bullshit or whatever the hell they want to do. And then I'll fly over real slow so you guys can count blocks if you want to. But there's the missile silos, and there is the elevator right there, and the torpedo storage room, and there is the crane with the torpedoes, and then the firing room right there. This on top, this is the bottom part of the elevator on the next deck going up. So don't get that confused with that is the crane system. That is not. Alright, here is the next floor up, and there is your officer's mess. And here is the layout for the elevator right here. Here's the officer's lounge. Here's the main corridor coming down from the top. And then this is how I broke up that section going to each side of the berthing area. So this over here is the voided space that I haven't used yet. And there's where they bring the torpedoes down and go to the second elevator. And then we just walk this down. It's the same on both sides. There's the shed houses, the showers, and then this piece coming out. There's the stairs going down to the officer's berthing, and there are the main reactors, the top of the engine, and the shaft. The shaft. Alright, now the final floor looks like this. I put another floor in between and trimmed out around the top of the engine and the steam pipes and all that good shit. And there's medical right here. And this is the officers or the special forces lounge over here. And there's obviously there's the wall here. This is the black wall right here. And this is the top, which you guys have already seen a lot of the top and a lot of the middle by now. Should be self-explanatory. And again, there is the layout for the forward mess, the bridge, the nav center, and as you can see, you know, you can see the spacing for the walls. Again, hopefully you should be able to stop this and copy this. So, and then going through to the forward bridge, and then the sonar room right there. So that is how everything is laid out in the Ohio submarine. Yes, I crammed it in there really, really tight, and that's what she said. And she enjoyed every bit of it, and that is my final fucking version of the Ohio class submarine. I hope you guys really enjoyed. This was a very, very fun build for me, and like I said, this was probably the first build that I actually finished 99.5% I completed. And there again, there's the item frames they shot to the outside, so you have to clean those off if you spin these, which I spun these. That's why they did that. But that's it, guys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Look for the Typhoon class in probably a few weeks after the upload date of this tutorial or this video, and you'll get some more really, really good ideas, because that is another submarine that I finished 100% inside and out. And it's really cool, I think, how I've got things laid out inside that submarine, and it should give you some really good ideas for building your own Virginia-class submarine or any other kind of submarine that you want. So this is kind of a cover-all series between this submarine and the Typhoon class to build your own other submarines like the Virginia and stuff like that I get a lot of requests for, because I probably will not do another class like this. The Virginia class really is not much different from the Ohio, aside from the size. The centerpiece is moved back more toward the center, and there's like a caterpillar type system that goes around the propeller I think it's to help for silencing. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but visually that would be the only differences that I would do if I made this into a Virginia class, is I would just move this main tower back, and I would build some kind of a round housing that goes over the propeller, and that would be it. And I would just shift things around a little bit on the inside. So that should give you some ideas. Again, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. It was a really fun build, and like always, I appreciate you watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.